What's good, y'all? We back. Got to talk about a lot today. Got to talk about Brock Purdy's injury. We got to talk about Trey Lance. We got to talk about who's coaching on the defense. Big Fangio, maybe. I don't know. It's a lot been going on since our treacherous loss on Sunday. So let's get right into it, players. All right, man. Let's talk about Brock Purdy. So this man, as y'all know, suffered a injury in the NFC Championship. We saw his elbow fly back. He didn't really have no feeling in his arms all the way down to his fingers. He just said it was pain all the way around. And the fear was having to get Tommy John surgery. And with that will put him out at least a year. I would say about 12 to 18 months. And that is terrible for our guy, Brock. I mean, he just only stepped in at the hardest time of the year and just ran our offense to perfection. Literally was perfect for the rest of the season until his injury. So prayers up for Brock, man. That sucks for him. It just all feels like an illusion now. It's like we had Brock, everything was looking good. Brock or Trey next year. Brock QB1, Trey backup. I don't know. I know how I feel about that. But man, our guy is big time injured. This is the worst thing that could have happened to Brock. And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his loving family. I feel bad for his dad. It's just a messed up situation. But why? Why do we lose so many quarterbacks? No other team in the league loses quarterbacks like us. 4 in the same season? That's crazy, bruh. That's crazy. But it happened. Are there things that could have been prevented? Maybe. Let's think back on that play when Brock got injured. Wasn't that Tyler Kroft trying to block Hassan Reddick? What? What are we doing here? Why would Tyler Kroft be able to block basically a top 3 edge rusher? Very confused. Very confused. And we saw what happened. I'm just saying. I know Trey got injured. He was ran through the tackles on a play that he definitely didn't have to do, given the situation. Wasn't necessary. And everybody always just says, oh, it's football. Injuries happen. It's football. Injuries happen. I'm full aware. I understand that. That's nothing new under the sun. But there are ways you can prevent certain things. At least try. You don't put yourself in harm's way on purpose. Whatever. We lost what could have been our future. Very possible with everything that we have been seeing from Brock. It's hard to say anything other than that. But prayers up to you, Brock. It sucks that it had to go down that way. Thank you for everything that you did for us this season, providing us all this extra excitement. We appreciate you, man. Really do. And prayers up for you. Hope you recover a lot sooner than people expect. All right, let's moving on. Let's move to Trey Lance, man. Okay, so Trey Lance spoke. They interviewed him, and they asked him about his recovery. He's going to be ready for training camp, OTAs, yada, 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 etc. And he said yes. He said he'll be more than 100% by the time OTAs come. He said in about 3 to 4 weeks, he'll be clear. That is great news. It should be for Niner fans, not just Trey Lance fans. It should be all of us faithful. We should all be happy that Trey Lance is healthy and is coming back in just a few weeks. So that means when OTAs come, what is going to be the situation? Do the Niners bring back Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm going to say no, because honestly, just having Jimmy in that locker room, I don't care what nobody say. It's gonna divide the locker room regardless. Like, I'm done with this trade Jimmy back and forth stuff. Just let the man walk. Let's start over. We got young cats that's ready to ball. And in defense of Trey Lance, he has never really had a chance. The 2 games that he started in his first season were totally random and months apart from each other based off Jimmy's injuries. The next year, that 4th start that he got was barely a start. And why was that? Because he got injured. The freaking the first quarter, it's over, bro. He had no chance. So we can't really say what Trey is, what he's gonna be, what we've seen so far. Nothing has been concrete or even a real solid chance. You can't judge somebody off of 2 games he started a year, his first year, month apart, and then you can't judge him off the first 2 games of the season. First game is a monsoon game, and the 4th quarter was definitely unplayable conditions for anybody. Anybody. It ain't. I don't think it's gonna be too many quarterbacks that's gonna go out there and do great in that situation like it was week 1 against Chicago. Nobody. So I don't even want to hear that. In the second game, he got injured early. So what chance did he really have? He didn't have a chance yet. Here we go again. Off season. Trey's ready. He's healthy. This is his chance again. He doesn't have Brock Purdy breathing down his neck because he won't be there. Tommy John surgery it's a long time to heal. And I've had friends that have, injured those same situations. And I know they said it feels like their arm was going to fall off every time they even threw it forward. You can even look at the 2 passes that he threw after the injury. He was just pushing it, just pushing it out there just because he was just trying to make something happen, whatever. But I praise Brock for even doing that. But now it's like, okay, we have one quarterback that's going to be healthy. And then there's Jimmy Garoppolo still. But I just think we should invest in backup quarterbacks that can accentuate the way that Trey plays. So that way it's not so much of trying to switch up the playbook for a certain quarterback or their style. How about we have a backup quarterback with the same style as Trey Lance? There's plenty out there. I mean, there are players like Tyrod Taylor and the Teddy Bridgewaters and all that. And I know some of these players, people are like, whatever, but it was better than what we had. All love for Josh Johnson and everything, but he wasn't the guy. He's not the guy for that situation or that position. Not the guy. Pulled him off the street. Let's go. Love you because you're from Oakland Tech and everything, got to play against you in high school and we was hooping. But the NFC Championship, yeah, nah. Too many nerves and jitters and a bunch of stuff that he just didn't need to be there. And we should have had a quarterback that was at least ready. Because he just didn't look like he was even ready. It just looked like we just threw in they could have threw me in there. I guarantee I would have fell on that fumble, though. I wouldn't have fumbled. Start that. But anyway, Trey doesn't have anybody behind him. Now, of course, we had all this Tom Brady talk and all that. As we know this morning, Tom Brady just announced that he's going to retire again, which is good because I wasn't a fan of it. I was not a fan of Tom Brady being on our team because you got to pay Tom Brady. And that means we're going to lose some people. Does any Niner fan want to lose any of our depth, any of our other players? I don't think so because we're definitely a Super Bowl roster. And I definitely believe we would have beaten the Eagles had Brock Purdy not got injured because I loved the way our defense was playing. They were just on the field too long. I loved the way our defense was playing, but we didn't have any offense to do anything. So whatever. All I know is the Niners are going to have to figure out something at the quarterback position because all of our quarterbacks get injured. Just because Trey is back doesn't mean he won't be injured throughout the season at some point. Jimmy's never been able to stay healthy. Shoot, Trey's never been able to stay healthy. Even Brock has had 2 injuries. Y'all remember he had that oblique injury too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our quarterbacks get injured all the time. We need to find out a way, NFL something, so we can have 3 quarterbacks. That's what we need. And they need to all bounce off each other. I understand it would be a really young quarterback room. But if we get a veteran quarterback that can move that has an arm, something like that. We can make something work here. But I just think as faithful, we need to all come together, get behind Trey, and let's give him the chance he deserves so we can see, is this the future of our team or not? We need to know our future was mortgaged for this man. And I'm a fan. I like what I saw from him. The little snippets and flashes and stuff that I saw. Let's not forget, y'all, Trey never got a chance to have a healthy George Kittle. George Kittle didn't come back until Jimmy Garoppolo was there. Trey never had Christian McCaffrey. I just find it real hard to believe that Trey wouldn't succeed with this team that we have. But all these playmakers, I find it really hard to believe that wouldn't be the case. So, needless to say, I'm excited for Trey and to see what he can bring to us. It's going to be a lot of quarterback talk back and forth. The Tom Brady thing has ended. The Brock Purdy thing is basically over. That might as well end. So it's like, now what? I don't want to hear about Aaron Rodgers. I think we should just nut up, put your effort into the quarterback that you thought was the franchise. Put your effort into that, and let's rock with it. Let's rock with it. Let's see what it can do for us, because it might be something great. I was tired of hearing all that Trey Lance talk. For what? So we can go somewhere else and possibly flourish and blow up and make us look like idiots? Don't we already look dumb for passing on certain players, passing on Patrick Mahomes, passing on Tom Brady, passing on Aaron Rodgers? Aren't we tired of that? So then we draft a guy that has all the potential, hasn't got a fair shot yet, and then we're talking about trading him. Come on, y'all. Let's just chill out a second. Let's chill out. Let's be a little patient here. It's not like we're going to wait for him to develop and everything like that. I think he's going to be just fine. If Brock Purdy showed us anything, it's that you can come into a situation and you can still flourish right out the gate. Because Trey Lance looked good against the Texans when at the end of the season, when it was a must-win game. He looked good. But hey, I honestly feel like Trey has a chip on his shoulder now, which he didn't have before. I feel like he has that now because he's being that well. He had it before, but now it's even more because even the faithful are on his neck. It don't make sense to me. National media is on his neck. Nobody is really giving this kid a shot. And it just doesn't make sense to me at all. It just doesn't. There's no reason for us to treat Trey the way that he has been treated. But we'll see. Let's move on, man. Help me, Coach Shanahan. Help us all. I talked about the Tyler Kroft situation. I'm going to need us not to do stuff like that if we want to protect our quarterbacks. Trey Lance got injured running between the tackles. I'm going to need us to not do stuff like that if we want to protect our quarterbacks. I know how Jimmy got injured. He was scrambling out the pocket. That was different. It wasn't like he was like Shanahan dialed up some vicious QB sneak, some QB draw, and Jimmy was out there hitting him with a couple moves, and then all of a sudden he broke his foot. That's not what happened. He got sacked because he's slow. But anyway, I feel like Shanahan did a good job. Of course, we got to NFC Championship, and we always seem like we getting there, somewhere close or something. But it's in those games or certain plays where some things just seem obvious. Like we just got done playing against Micah Parsons. So I just don't understand the Tyler Kroft blocking Hassan Reddick. I just won't ever understand that because now we're in this situation where Brock Purdy's injured. I just would never understand it. Another thing, I feel like he could have tried harder to find another angle of that catch, call a timeout, something. That was the incomplete catch by Devontae Smith. That would have changed the whole trajectory of the game. I don't care what nobody's saying. It's the truth. It was 4th down. He threw a bomb. We would have got the ball right at the line of scrimmage. Brock Purdy would have never been able to, he wouldn't even had to make that throw or do anything like that because it'd have been most likely different plays because we would have been dang near in field goal position. That whole game would have went different. One thing can change a lot. And I think a challenge on that would have changed everything. I firmly believe that. That's just what I believe. Man, it's been a good season. It's definitely been a roller coaster, but I am excited about this new season to come. So, Shanahan, I hope you get back in your bag and you realize some of your mistakes and you change for the better and we don't put our quarterbacks in these situations. I mean, something has to be done about how we're getting injured. This doesn't happen to any other team. It happens to us though. It does all the time. All the time it happens to us. So I just want things to change. Like I said, prayers up for Brock. Trey is our guy. Let's keep it that way. Let's get behind him. Faithful, please. He needs our support. That young man ain't had a chance. He needs our support. Let's support him. Please. Let's support this man. He deserves every bit of it. And he has all the weapons at everywhere. I'm so excited to see what Trey can do with all these weapons. Oh, so excited. And more. Because let's not forget Danny Gray. On that, I'm going to holla at y'all on the next one.